Another day, another story. NASA's ISS faces never-ending setbacks with water leaks in spacesuit helmets and postponed spacewalks. A significant spacesuit designer also pulls out of deal. On June 24, NASA canceled a spacewalk at the International Space Station, ISS, following a spacesuit malfunction. Welcome to Taboo Eminent Channel. Astronauts Tracy Caldwell Dyson and Mike Barrett were forced to cancel their plans to spacewalk outside the ISS. NASA's recent mission involving the Boeing Starliner spacecraft has encountered a series of issues, though it achieved a significant milestone by successfully docking with the International Space Station, ISS. Sunita Williams, along with NASA astronaut Barry Wilmore, piloted the Starliner to the ISS on June 5, 2024, marking the spacecraft's first crewed test flight under NASA's Commercial Crew Program. The mission and arrival. On June 5, 2024, the Boeing Starliner spacecraft, piloted by Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore, was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This mission, part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, aimed to validate the Starliner's systems for future crewed missions to the ISS. The spacecraft successfully docked with the ISS, carrying over 500 pounds of cargo. Williams celebrated the docking with a dance in zero gravity, a moment that resonated widely on social media. Challenges faced. The Starliner program has faced multiple setbacks over the years, including technical issues and delays. These problems have included software glitches and valve malfunctions that delayed previous launches and test flights. Despite these challenges, the recent successful docking is seen as a significant step towards certifying the Starliner for regular missions. Sunita Williams's achievements. Sunita Williams is a veteran astronaut with an impressive track record. She has previously spent 322 days in space over 2 missions and holds records for the most spacewalks, 7, and the most spacewalk time, 50 hours, 40 minutes, by a woman. Her involvement in the Starliner mission marks another milestone in her career, as she became the first woman to pilot a new spacecraft on its inaugural crewed test flight. The mission's objectives. The primary objective of the mission is to conduct a range of tests to ensure the Starliner is ready for regular use. These tests include evaluating the spacecraft's performance, systems, and docking capabilities. The crew is expected to spend about a week on the ISS before the Starliner undocks and returns to Earth for a parachute-assisted landing in the southwestern United States. The broader impact. The success of this mission is crucial for NASA's Commercial Crew Program, which aims to increase the availability of crewed flights to the ISS through partnerships with private companies. If successful, the Starliner will join SpaceX's Crew Dragon as a reliable option for transporting astronauts to and from the ISS, thereby enhancing the overall capabilities of the space program. Upon arrival, Williams celebrated by dancing in zero gravity, a moment shared widely on social media. The Starliner, carrying over 500 pounds of cargo, will stay docked for about a week while the crew conducts tests and validates the spacecraft's systems. The mission is critical for certifying the Starliner for routine crewed missions to the ISS, joining SpaceX's Crew Dragon in providing transport to and from the station. However, the mission comes amidst a backdrop of previous technical challenges and delays that have plagued the Starliner program. This spacewalk was cancelled on Monday after a water leak from a servicing and cooling umbilical (SCU) on Dyson's spacesuit, adding another red mark to the ongoing ISS spacesuit situation. The incident, caught on the NASA live feed, saw Dyson reporting, "Literally water everywhere. 3.6 crore Indians visited in a single day, choosing us as India's undisputed platform for general election results. I could see the ice crystals were flowing out there, and then, just like a snow machine, there was ice forming at that port on the SCU," Dyson told Mission Control. The astronauts were still in the hatch when the leak occurred, with the external door open. The spacewalk was ultimately terminated. This second attempt follows the June 13 planned decision for a spacewalk with a different group of astronauts, Matt Dominic and Tracy Dyson. The initial attempt was cancelled due to a spacesuit discomfort dilemma with Matt Dominic. Also read, Boeing blames missing paperwork as potential cause of Alaska air mishap, incites NTSB row. The spacewalk for today has been cancelled due to a spacesuit cooling unit water loop leak that began right after the suits were put on internal battery power, NASA announced after the June 24 attempt. Repeatedly postponed spacewalks and struck off contracts. Fortunately, in each case the astronauts were safe. However, the continuing string of postponed spacewalks due to arising concerns with the spacesuit is only the beginning of NASA's problems. Another forthcoming spacewalk is scheduled for July 2. Only time will tell whether that will be successfully greenlit. Despite the growing demand for spacesuits on board the ISS, NASA has faced another setback. The company enlisted to design the suits is pulling back its strings from the contract. In 2022, NASA picked Axiom Space and Collins Aerospace to build their spacesuits, with an estimated cumulative value of $3.5 billion. After a thorough evaluation, Collins Aerospace and NASA mutually agreed to descope Exploration Extravehicular Activity Services, XEVAS, task orders. Collins remains committed to supporting NASA and human spaceflight programs, the company said. Eventually, a day later, NASA also released a statement reiterating the case that Collins' development timeline would not support the space station schedule and NASA's mission objectives. This isn't the first time NASA has suspended spacewalks outside the ISS due to potentially alarming threats. 2 years ago, cases of water leaking into astronauts' helmets during these walks were reported. Similarly, in 2013, ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano became a victim of these water leaks inside his helmet. Though Parmitano returned to the ISS airlock, he dealt with a terrifying, life-threatening scare while having trouble breathing with 1.5 liters of water inside his helmet. Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, stuck in space. While astronauts face the issue of a limited inventory of extravehicular mobility units, EMUs, on the ISS, astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore are still stuck in space for over 2 weeks. A new heart-rending report surrounding their case indicates that NASA and Boeing knew about a helium leak on the Starliner spacecraft before its June 5 launch. Their supposed negligence thought of the leak as nothing consequential enough to pose any safety issues. On the contrary, after its 25-hour journey in orbit, the Starliner developed 4 more leaks. This unprecedented turn of events rendered one of the thrusters unusable, leading to repeated delays in the astronaut duo's scheduled departure. They were initially scheduled to leave the ISS on June 13 and then June 26. Each time, their return was cancelled. These astronauts are not stranded in space. Instead, they are fortunately buckled inside the ISS with 5 other astronauts on board. Their Starliner is reportedly docked at the ISS module Harmony. In the meantime, NASA maintains that Williams and Wilmore can undock and return home if needed. They have ample supplies on board, and a Boeing spokesperson also asserted the crew is not pressed for time. The Boeing official also told The Guardian that their return is expected to happen after the planned spacewalks scheduled for June 24 and July 2, the former of which was ultimately cancelled. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.